pushed him every time to settle, and I kept saying, don't do it. We want the video footage. No, because we had to push for the video footage. And the point is, if we didn't have the video footage, Joe, whose side would they have taken if we didn't have the video footage? No, answer the question. I want you to answer the question. First, answer the question. If we didn't have video footage, whose side would they have taken? Exactly my point. We all know the answer, Joe. It would have been the back to me, but don't let him get away with it.
Earlier was you were guilty with no chance of being innocent because you're black.
Not in every case, Joe. You know that I'm not saying in every single case.
Bringing up to us. Clearly, the example you're bringing up to us is no different than what Mr. Everett said, is that he would hire a lawyer and fight the charges. If not even sue them if he was racially profiled. So, and then you tried to brush that point away and say, well, a black guy couldn't do that because he would have already been found guilty. That was the point you just made. No, that was literally the point you just made. However, now you're giving count of an anecdotal personal story where a black guy wrongfully charged, right? He was charged. But he then proved his innocence. Okay. So, I mean, the system works.
He proved his innocence because there were cameras, Joe. He proved his innocence because there were cameras. Before there weren't cameras, who do you think would have been right? Who do you think would have been convicted of a double and then lost his license? And then his entire livelihood would have been affected, Joe. For what? Because he was harassed because he was a black man. But you're not going to admit that. You're going to ignore it. Can you take it?
Hold on. You live in a hyperpolitan area where everything is created.
Joe, you live in a white man world. You live with a white lens, and that's all you see. So,
Take it back.
Let me ask you this. So, your boyfriend, where did he go?
he was born in Kansas.
Did he grow up in the city?
Yeah, a little bit.
Were there black people there?
I mean, like what age?
Like this?
I think second grade. He was somewhere else. He was in the
Second grade is no good.
You married him? So it's a little bit challenging for me to find those positions because the majority of black people are black people, and their everyday experience is black. And you'll spend more time worrying about a particular problem versus if a black person comes out home. And in many cases, you can kind of spot the white people the eye, but you also have to have that same, I guess, vigilance with our own people. So, I give you an example. I got pulled over by a police officer. From my perspective, I think he racially profiled me. But I also got pulled over by a different police officer in Tennessee with a loaded firearm and he let me off. He could have took me to jail on the technicality, because I didn't know that at the time in Tennessee, you cannot have a loaded firearm. But he let me off. So how should someone look at this and just blame it on white supremacy when I have a higher probability of getting touched by my own people versus with a white person?
Just stop driving cars. Black people should stop driving cars.
Because we're talking about a justice system, Sword. We're talking about a justice system. Criminals are going to be criminals, right? The justice system, justice, right? You statists love that, okay? Justice You're not supposed to get injustice from the justice system. You're not supposed to be wrongly convicted at higher rates than your fellow Americans. You're not supposed to be harassed. You're not supposed to be fucking profiled. You're not supposed to be all of these things by what is the justice system that protects, right, the white man, okay?
But you're not supposed to have loud cars like that disturb other people at 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
Well,
So maybe it's karma.
Yeah, do you know what that is? By the way, if you said the cops in the neighborhood for multiple times following you around, and there are big complaints about the car starting over and over and over and over and over again, then the cop would obviously know that you lived there. But I want to resolve something else. You said Baltimore.
No, obviously he didn't. I told you he didn't. He didn't know. He didn't know. How would the cop know where he lived if he didn't get all of his information? How would he know that?
Once he got all the information, he would know that. And then, like I said, if the car
Well, no, that's wrong too. But keep going. He didn't know.
If the car had been starting in the neighborhood for multiple times where there's multiple complaints given to the police department, and you also said that they were following you around for a while, so in the Mustang.
No, you don't. No, hold on, Mike.
That wasn't the point.
I was explaining. They didn't know anything about him starting the car and the loudness. All they knew is they saw him because by the time he got to the of where these cops would stay, it was like their hideout spot, right?
Okay.
It was their hideout spot. Right. So as soon as he came into vision of this guy in hanging out next to the wrong side of an entrance, with his Mustang, okay, because he's trying to pull out his Mustang because he lives there. Point is they fucking harassed him, right. And it wasn't just one time. It was multiple cops. It was all the time.
All right. So back to the Baltimore City thing you mentioned. Baltimore.
Hold on, wait. I want to say something else because fuck you and fuck anybody else. Do you know he got so hyped? He was so fucking paranoid that we couldn't even go out for late night drives because he was so paranoid that he was gonna get wrongly fucking pulled over because he had a CDL and so his job his license required it. So his actual real life was affected by the harassment of these officers. This isn't you guys fucking think this is some bullshit. This is real life. Like what the fuck?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, you cussing like you talking to people who ain't living the shit you talking about.
Then why are you fucking acting like it doesn't happen?
Because at the end of the day, the shit happened, but it's more from my own fucking people. Like, you sitting here talking this shit like Beamer, there's certain neighborhoods I can't go to. Because when I walk around, they gonna be looking at me like, what the fuck you doing here? You wearing your hat to the right? Nigga, we don't wear a hat to the right over here. Like, I can't do it, Beamer. So when you sit here and you talk this shit, talking about, nigga, if I'm a police officer in a black neighborhood, or you know what, I'm gonna go with your scenario. If only white people live over here, and I see a nigga drive through the neighborhood at 4 a.m, you don't think that that's cause for suspicion? If I've been patrolling this neighborhood for 15 years, and all of a sudden I see a nigga in the neighborhood at 4 a.m?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That nigga could be smashing something.
He could be doing a bunch of things. That's racial profiling, bro.
Racial profiling in any shape, way, or form. What you just did was justify racial profiling, brother.
Okay, so Hibbity, I'm gonna ask you a question. I agree.
No, hold on. I love what Hibbity said though, guys. I just want you to know. So I have a son and a daughter, right? My son's 41. My daughter's 30. My daughter's 35. I had to teach them about blacks being racially profiled. And my question to all of us: why are blacks being racially profiled? How do they come to determine these things? What's happening within community? And Sword said it earlier, okay? Why are we, quote unquote, ethnically black people, why are we the ones falling prey, Himothy, to racial profiling?
Look, man, two things can be true. It doesn't make it right. Black people, everybody know black people are violent. Like Sword said, black on black crime, XYZ. That can be true. It could also be true that it's racial profile, man. It's just just from the stereotype of the norm of how black people act. I think that this nigga is going to do X, Y, Z. That doesn't make it right. So, I mean, two things can be true, but at the end of the day, your job is to protect and serve. It's not to racial profile me.
Timothy, I appreciate your, one second. Timothy, I appreciate your answer. The challenge that you and I have is that we only have humans patrolling our streets to protect and serve, right? And unfortunately, I don't know what's in the mind of a black cop, a white cop, an Asian cop. I don't know what they're doing, but I do know this, okay? Growing up in life, I know this for sure at 63 years old, that there are people that look like me that have done some nefarious thing. And what have we heard before? And we all heard this. I know we've heard this, okay? I'm just gonna say stitches. Everybody knows the rest of it, right?
Yep.
What's the cold sword?
Snitches get stitches.
Say it again.
Snitches get stitches. We only know the part that she told us. We don't know nothing else other than how the story was framed. So
exactly,
you know, it's
now, I'm gonna share this with you guys. I'm gonna land on this. Guys, I'm gonna land on this. It's called VOC. You can look it up in every one of your communities. It's called a victim of a crime. I've been in death care for 38 years, guys. And I can tell you clearly, every weekend, Los Angeles, Compton, Chicago, Illinois, Baltimore, Maryland, Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, between 25 and 30, here, I'm gonna say it again, but 25 and 30 deaths that are caused by proximity crime. People that just look like you and me who kill each other. And you know what? 92% of those crimes go unanswered. It's called VOC, victim of a crime.
What's the most bullet holes you've ever seen in the body?
This is some Stockholm syndrome.
That's it? 15?
Yeah.
Damn, B. That's it.
Yeah. 15's a lot.
Area of Edward, where there is no crime.
What about that? They always want to talk about negative.
Hello? This is progressive. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue.
It's not just blacks. Listen, I go to Orange County, California every weekend. You know, we pick up white people who also did bad crimes. Okay? Guys, listen, I'm in death care. We pick everybody up. I don't care who you are. If you go out on a weekend and act a jack and you end up losing your life, because I can tell you, I have hundreds of mothers who have lost children of every ethnic group. Okay?
What do you mean death care?
What I mean, death care?
Like if you're out at a bar and someone asks you what you work in, do you tell them death care?
Yes, I'm in the death care profession, Michael.
What do you mean, like you're a mortician?
Yeah, I work in the death care profession, cemetery, funerals, and cremation for 38 years.
I didn't believe that you're free death care for everybody?
Yeah.
Universal death care?
Yeah.
So you don't do like autopsies?
No, I don't do the autopsies.
Oh,
We have
okay,
people do that.
You don't kill people either.
I don't care exactly. Story. I don't.
Edward, what do you think about the movie The Big Lebowski? What do you think about the movie The Big Lebowski when they put their friend in the coffee can because they didn't want to get the urn? Have you ever had that situation before?
What I'm sharing with you is something that's very serious, right? Because unfortunately, and I don't care, we can talk about ethnic groups and race and everything. When a mother loses a child to any form of violence at the hands of any people group, it's not good. When a father has to bury their child, it's not good. I don't know who you think you are. I've seen it for 30.
But Edward, Bima says it's Stockholm Syndrome. It's Stockholm Syndrome. Bima is a Karen, and Bima is here to agitate, to irritate, and pearl. She's an annoying person, a highly annoying person. And when she believes that her baby is getting pulled over because he's a black man, she's projecting. She's political. Hello?
Yeah,
I know who that is. That's go ahead.
No, I just want to land. All I'm saying to you guys is this. It's really sad then we don't take this as very serious. And I'm going to say this, Bima, I appreciate you all the time, but you know what? You can't defend people who do wrong, no matter what ethnic group they're in, okay? And I'm going to say to you, at 63, okay, I have grandbabies that's growing up in this life right now, okay? I want them to really be judged by who they are, not because we're going to keep making race the issue. And I hope that we can stop it. And the only way we're going to stop it is let's stop blaming other people for people's bad behavior.
You're never gonna stop politics, Edward. And African Americans and Bemas of the world.
One second. I don't know where I justified. Yes.
Censorship and fascism isn't gonna stop. Just watch. I'll get muted. The censors of the green beans.
Criminals are criminals. That's not what
I'm talking about. I'm talking about a justice system that intentionally targets, harasses, and terrorizes parts of our community that, and since the 1700s. Okay, we're talking, and I explained this. I talk about this. It started in the slave patrols. What was the purpose? What was the purpose of the slave patrols? Anybody know? Let's guess.
Capturing slaves.
The purpose of the slave patrol was to make sure there were nobody sitting around idle. Whoever was in the area of the colonies had to be working for the operational hours that was passed by the legislation of that colony. They were also there to catch runaway slaves and take them back to their plantations.
Oh yeah, that's a little later, but yeah, we're talking about, yeah, that's true. But the slave patrols first, when we had the slave patrols, if you were...
These people are so fucking brain rot.
Depth of what was just presented to them. And instead, many of them get lost in the surface level concepts or like the surface level phenomena.
Yeah, you're talking about engineers, right?
Yeah.
Vanity here. Thank you guys for doing the Lord's work.
No, Satan does the Lord's work because he's an instrument.
Oh, John. Classic John Lee. Classic John Lee. The contrarian.
So where you think you do the Lord's work too, Jimmy?
Because it teaches us that God's grace is sufficient.
What?
Good job, Sam.
God's grace what?
Is sufficient because his strength is made perfect.
It's too mumbly. I heard it's sufficient though.
Shut the fuck up, Toast.
That's all I need.
We black.
Now that it's kind of died down here.
Well, it's like when someone gets in like a like incessant rhythm like that, everybody just tends to like zone out. So it takes a while to rebuild the conversation.
Right. And as Proverbs 26:20 says, for lack of wood, the fire goes out.
Oh, plenty of wood.
Let's go.
John, why are you so quiet? Don't be quiet. I need to be louder.
You're in a room.
What?
He's like in a bunk in the shelter with like his head under the covers and his little AirPods as this going.
Man, since nobody else is really talking about anything right now, how many of you have went to go see the new Spider-Man movie?
I loved it.
It was fantastic. I had somebody.
I watched the first half twice.
Can't listen to that shit. We're gonna have to go to music.
Tao can be talked about.
Tao can be talked about, but not the eternal Tao. Names can be named, but not
right, this is the John Kitover Band. Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com. Hope you're enjoying this video.
As the origin of heaven and earth in his nameless, as the mother of all things, it is nameable. So as ever hidden, we should look at its inner essence. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. When all the world recognizes good as good, this in itself is evil. Indeed, the hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short exhibit each other. High and low set measure to each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Back and front follow each other. Therefore the sage manages his affairs without ado and spreads his teaching without talking. Hidden is nothing to the deceiving things. He rears them but lays no claim to them. He does his work but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just because he does not dwell on it that nobody can ever take it away from him. As always manifest, we should look at its outer aspects. These two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are called mysteries. The mystery of mysteries is the door of all essence. By not exalting the talented, he will cause the people to cease from rivalry and contention. By not prizing goods hard to get, you will cause the people to cease from robbing and stealing. By not displaying what is desirable, you would cause the people's hearts to remain undisturbed. Therefore, the sage's way of governing begins by emptying the heart of desires, filling the belly with food, weakening the ambitions, toughening the bones. In this way, he will cause the people to remain without knowledge and without desire, and prevent the knowing ones from any ado. Practice none ado, and everything will be in how can be talked about, but not the eternal Tao. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth, it is nameless. As the mother of all things, it is nameable. So, as ever hidden, we should look at its inner essence. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. When all the world recognizes good as good, this in itself is evil.
Indeed, the hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short exhibit each other. High and low set measure to each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Back and front follow each other. Therefore the sage manages his affairs without ado, and spreads his teaching without talking. He denies nothing to the team in things he rears them, but lays no claim to them. He does his work but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just because he does not dwell on it that nobody can ever take it away from him.
Always manifest, we should look at its outer aspects. These two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are called mysteries. The mystery of mysteries is the door of all essence.
By not exalting the talented, you will cause the people to cease from rivalry and contention. By not prizing goods hard to get, you will cause the people to cease from robbing and stealing. By not displaying what is desirable, you will cause the people's hearts to remain undisturbed. Therefore the sage's way of governing begins by emptying the heart of desires, filling the belly with food, weakening the ambitions, toughening the bones.
could be better. I could dump my leg. Who sucked $500 out of my wallet today. Death to sugar babies. Is that what you were gonna say?
That's disgusting, Edmund.
Death to sugar babies. Because the moment they start running around the mall and like they can't stop grabbing things, you're like, uh-oh, we have a problem.
Yeah, and you didn't even get laid.
Didn't even get laid. But I confirmed human behavior is obnoxious, immoral, rotten, low IQ, mendacious, felicitous, ridiculous, retarded. You ever notice that?
Did you meet her on sugarbabies.com?
No, Hinge.
Oh, wait. The people on Hinge are like sugar babies?
Yeah, a lot of girls will say I'm looking for something more transactional.
Oh.
But I don't like to do that. And this girl literally just got like a great gift, and then she calls me up, and she's like, "Would you Zelle me like more money because I want to get this pair of pants and this shirt from Victoria's Secret?" And I was like, "No, absolutely not. Like, you have to at least take pictures of the $300 worth of shit that I got you before." You can go to the next stage. You have to progress and utilize them. Like, you're somebody who is ordering more food at the table, but you haven't even finished your appetizer or your entree. So no. And she's like, "Okay, well, what about tomorrow?" I'm like, anyways, everything is just for a day. Everything. Tomorrow is like Groundhog Day. It really just does. It does reset. And everything you did today doesn't exist tomorrow at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. It just doesn't in the eternal now. So, your 16-year-old self, when you're punching yourself still in the face and you're like, "Why didn't I kiss that girl?" Or why didn't I ask that girl for her number? It's all just for a day. So what that means is tomorrow, whatever that Latin motto is, seize the day. That's all you can really do, gentlemen. Is seize the day.
Wow. That was definitely a monologue. Edmund. Thank you, Edmund.
It's just a friendly reminder that everything is just for a day. Even this retarded app of losers who are just basically Karens.
What do you perceive me as?
I don't know, just a dude, A dude trying to get laid, a dude trying to get money, but a dude who is actually probably very lazy and actually not that interested in what you claim you're interested in. Because I do know, I have many books on Kabbalah and Torah, and these books by Jewish sages are very smart, and they can.
Wait, what do you mean not interesting? Because I don't think I'm interesting, but like.
No, not interested in getting what you want because you're lazy and you don't read books. If you had a book club, I could confirm that you're on the right path. But you don't. You're a schmuck. I hate to break the sad news. From one Michelin patrilineal to another Michelin patrilineal, brother, you have to fucking tell me your top 10 books. You have to tell me what the 10 key extract summaries are, and you gotta learn them. Otherwise, you ain't going nowhere, dude. You'll be on Clubhouse 10 years from now, still saying to yourself, "What happened? What happened? What happened?"
Bow wow.
Bow wow!
Bow
wow. But
I'd like to think that I'm open to criticism and
yeah, he is.
allowing
I know.
my ego is to, be on display, and that's fine. So I'm just curious to know, and it's a constant need for criticism to kind of help or be more self-aware of my issues. There's only so much I can internalize.
I mean, if you were to text me, off of this app and say, "Hey, I want to start a book club, give me a list of 10 books," and you were to read even one of those fucking books, I would say you got a chance. But I'm not kidding you. This is friendly, constructive advice that there are many books out there that are like external hard drives, and they can totally change your life. It's just like the Matrix, how do I fly a Black Hawk helicopter? It's the same shit. Read a book by a Jewish sage, and you become a Jewish sage. It's that simple.
Like what? Are you reciting Mac Matrix or something? Or
I'm just telling you my experience. The whole thing is you have to make deposits into your subconscious mind because you can't really remember all that much, but it just changes your personality. But it really is. You're just like putting shit in your subconscious mind, and it's there, operating. It's like it's basically we are fucking computers, and if you don't actually update your operating system with books by the sages, by the mystics, your shit's gonna be boring, and your life is gonna be boring. I'm telling you, like the name Kitover is related to the Baal Shem Tov, and I open up a Jewish mystical book on Kabbalah today, and it's sitting there talking about Kitover, and he had to move to the Carpathian Mountains, smoke a lot of weed, and read another book by the Baal Shem Tov. The Zohar, they say, is the big thing. I mean, how familiar are you with the Zohar? Have you read it out loud?
the Zohar is freaking not the book for me.
It's one of the books. It's fun.
No.
Don't listen to this faggot, Bow Wow. What I'm trying to tell you is...
Now, Alistair has had a chance to cook Bow Wow. Bow Wow, now I want you to cook.
Go for it. We're live on YouTube.
No, I have nothing to say. It's not laziness. I do work. My mode right now is depression. And I do get stunted from progressing. And those are some of my deficiencies, unfortunately.
I know, but you say you work. So this is the thing, is your definitions are fucked up because karma equals work. So what you're saying is your depression stems from your lack of work, not because of your work, but because of your lack of work. Basically, if you were to submit to my experiment and I were to say, hey, come to my biodome and you're going to get through this program and you'll get paid for your time so you don't feel like you're wasting, you would come out of my MK Ultra program and you'd be like, bro, I'm not depressed anymore. I feel great. I look great. I feel smarter than I was a month ago. And I don't even know what I was complaining about. Hello?
Don't do it. He's a maniac. Don't trust him. He has recordings upon recordings upon recordings upon recordings.
I know. He has every recording of every recording. He has recordings of his own recordings. I know.
His reality is totally self-referential.
What do you expect of that? I mean, that's all he has going on right now on this app.
He's so gone far down the rabbit hole of his own making that he's completely lost.
He's like a light version of the Viking, whatever his name is, the January 6th guy. What's his name?
Yeah, I forget his name, but I know his name.
John. What's his name?
I'm not so sure, but let me tell you something very smart that I've been doing, and today I did it in the morning, is that I will take a very good book, I'll take a photo of a page, and then I'll go to Grok and I'll say, image to text, and then I'll take the script of that page and I'll put it into Suno, the AI music creator, and then I will label it, title it, and then I will create different varieties of it, like classical Indian music, man and woman, Irish man and woman sings with choir. So what I'm doing is I'm taking, pretty complicated, esoteric, spiritual, psychological information and turning it into music. And so in a way, you don't necessarily have to read books. You can use books as the basis of music and program yourself that way. And so just a little tidbit that I'm on the cutting edge of intelligence when it comes to material or content and using AI to create the future of education and music for the liberation of mankind. Hello?
Wow, that was a whole lot of gibberish. That was pretty
Mysterious feminist called
Well, just listen to one of the John Kitover Band songs for 30 seconds since you've given up years of your life to a gay conference call. Are you prepared to listen to the John Kitover Band for 30 seconds? Okay, here we go.
Tau can be talked about, but not the eternal Tau. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth, it is nameless. As the mother of all things, it is nameable. So as ever hidden, we should look at its inner essence. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. When all the world recognizes good as good, this in itself is evil. Indeed, the hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short exhibit each other. High and low set measure to each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Back and front follow each other. Therefore the sage manages his affairs without ado, and spreads his teaching without talking. He denies nothing to the teeming things, he rears them, but lays no claim to them. He does his work, but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task, but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just because he does not dwell on it that nobody can ever take it away from him. As always manifest, we should look at its outer aspects. These two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are called mysteries. The mystery of mysteries is the door of all essence. By not exalting the talented, you will cause the people to cease from rivalry and contention. By not prizing goods hard to get, you will cause the people to cease from robbing and stealing. By not displaying what is desirable, you will cause the people's hearts to remain undisturbed. Therefore the stage's way of governing begins by emptying the heart of desires, filling the belly with food, weakening ambitions, toughening the bones. In this way he will cause the people to remain without knowledge and without desire, and prevent the knowing ones from any other. Practice none other, and everything will be in order. The Tao is like an empty bone, which in being used can never be filled up, fathomless. It seems to be the origin of all things. It blunts all sharp edges. It unties all.
That's it. That's the John Kitover Band.
Thank you for the NLP.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it does work because you are your words, and if you start being more aware of like some of the negative speech you have, you literally have to do the karma point work and start reading books out loud and like reprogramming your brain neurolinguistically. I've been doing it for years, and look at me. I mean, I have 200,000 videos up on YouTube. I'm running for the mayor. Everybody in this city hates me or loves me. You know, hello?
That's awesome.
If you just come on here and you listen to that cunt-faced piece of trash bitch, yeah, Al, you know, I mean, you're gonna fucking come to the conclusions sooner or later that you're wasting your time listening
to low IQ communication. It's very low IQ communication transmission on this app, and that's why audiobooks are so valuable, because that's high value incoming communication for your Merkaba or for your chariot, which is your brain, your body, your consciousness. And the Jewish sages, they figured all this out. I've got many books. I just got a whole bunch of good new ones. If you want, I will, somehow try to send you a picture of them. But they're very affordable. They're $5 by this guy, Rabbi Rami Shapiro. These books are invaluable, invaluable. And if you're Jewish and you've never read it, well, then you're not like a rich Jew, because you don't know the treasure that the Jewish sages have written down for our conscious well-being, for our abundance. It really is like manifestation type stuff. It sounds corny, but you have to do the work. You have to program yourself. And I do it by reading books out loud. I'm not ashamed to do that, but like if you create like a private YouTube or some way where you can listen to yourself reading a book out loud, you will reinforce and reprogram that work into your conscious being, and that's who you are. And so when you go out with a hot chick, you become a master communicator, much more so than you think you are now, because some of these books, when you really read them, like, you are transforming your IQ. Like, your IQ is going up. The larger your LLM, the higher your IQ. That's just the way it works. And then you have to have the comprehension aspect of it too. So it is what it is. It's all just like self-work, It's philosophy, basically. Study of self.
Fair enough. Have you ever done Toastmasters?
I did. Did it in college. I did public speaking in college. I've run for Congress, run for committeeman. I'm running for mayor. Requires an awful lot of public speaking. I like to do it in my underpants from the comfort of my home. Hello?
You ever thought about maybe rejoining?
Excuse me?
You ever thought about rejoining Toastmasters?
I looked into it many times. Just the location, the time, the group. It just never worked out a second time after college. But, I'm on this app so much. It's like, what do you think this fucking app is, dude? It's a Toastmasters conference call for schmucks.
Yeah, but you're not with like-minded individuals who are looking to improve. I don't know. Somebody intelligent enough are there to promote the same thing that you're there for, so I don't know. That's my perspective. Who knows? So when's your next run? Like, I don't know what your deal is. Like, are you running for anything else right now? Like, are you kind of in between something? Did you have like a court thing? Like, what was the whole deal with that? I didn't put the puzzle together with that one. John? Johnny boy? John? Kitover?
Yeah.
John Bueller?
Sorry, I was filling up a cup of tea in the kitchen. What was your question, Michael?
So what are you doing next in terms of politics, and what was the
Next?
what was the whole ordeal with the last scenario? Like, you were in front of a judge or something? I didn't understand.
No, you don't. You go through a judge when you go through the challenge trial for your petitions. That was it. They kicked me off the ballot. I didn't have enough signatures. The lawyer made a slanderous, defaming claim that I committed fraud. I called them out on it. I've called out the congressman for committing actual fraud, and that's the end of it. But fucking loser faggots like Marshall Rankin, who's a fucking door knocker and a ballot harvester for a liberal Republican in Texas, he's like, "Wow, they're real busy, but we're still working on it. We're gonna get them." That's what Marshall fucking faggot Rankin said in a room one day. And so anyways, I won't forget it. But listen, I'll keep, yeah, He's retarded. All communication is politics. When they defamed me, it's
The worst
politics.
is when you have like a high estrogen autistic individual. Those are the worst.
You mean like a... Listen, that's been going on throughout human history. Do you know how many governments and like how much conflict there's been between what you might call normative people and what you just described as being like an NFR? But listen, my friend, that doesn't matter. See, these are the stupid conversations. I have a book here called Hasidic Tales, the legendary tales of the impassioned Hasidic rabbis, with facing page commentary that brings the text to life by Rabbi Rami Shapiro, and Skylight Illuminations is the publisher. If you haven't read these books, dude, but you've spent years here talking to fucking faggot retards on this app, but you've never cracked books over the past 5 years.
Excuse me, sir?
I got Proverbs, the wisdom of Solomon. I mean, just one sentence from this book is worth more than 3 months of listening to faggot retards on this app.
Remember every book that I've read in my life, just like every meal that I've eaten in my life, but yet it made me so. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Yeah, he's good. You know what's interesting is if you search your memory, you're actually recording everything, which is remarkable. If you really sit there and you try to like think about a day, and I mean, you can think about the smallest details of something you saw on a specific day.
Gift is being eroded by technology.
But what I'm saying is memory is very powerful, but many people overestimate their memory, or they're unable to like actually recall information quickly or even at all to serve the situation. All I'm saying is, I got this other book, The Wisdom of the Jewish Sages, a modern reading of Pirkei Avot by Rabbi Rami Shapiro. This is page 13. It says, Hillel and Shammai received the teaching from Shemaiah and Avtalion. Hillel said, be disciples of Aaron, loving peace and acting peacefully, loving people and drawing them to reality. So when we were talking about neurolinguistic programming and doing self-help work, oh my God, that's called reading a book. And people on this app are retarded. So if you just come here to this retarded app and listen to retards program your NLP, you're going to be retarded. Hello? You're telling me to get a life? Sir, is that projection? Do I need to turn on the projection activation detection system and roll out the projection mirror?
Excuse me,
Projection says
you know
what?
What I've noticed?
What?
I've noticed that when it comes to the Writers Society, or when it comes to like publishing a book, women have taken over, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like they did with psychology in the medical field. I, as a male writer, when I go to different writing clubs, I usually leave because there's not like, there's no one I can relate to there. Either gay men there, trans, or women.
I have a question, Sister. You have a sister and a mother and a grandmother. Why don't you respect women? I mean, basically, in your own family, you got a lot of things. Yeah?
But look, this one black guy told me, hey, look, the way you can become a real man is by forgiving your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my mother is just, I have both my father and my mother. They both gave me tools for life. But it's just, I kind of feel like in America, my father has been feminized by my mother. And I don't know, it's just, there's not enough, something's going on in America. I don't know what it is. But I'm just trying to...
Yeah, but you forgive...
My money, energy, attention, and time.
You forgive your mother, though, right?
Yeah, you know who said that? Look, I don't know. There's a quote, and I think the black guy's name is something Lee Peterson. He's a political commentator, and I don't know if he's a part of the manosphere, but from my
sisters, they're, you know, they're women at the end of the day, you know? Not trying to say that I hate women. No, I don't. It's just that I became a man when I realized that men and women are not created equal and we're not the same. Even though society was telling me for 20 years, oh, you're the same as a woman. You and a woman are equal. You and a woman should be equal among bros. No, that's not true. I'm not saying that the woman is equal to a man because, I mean, if I slap a woman, she can't do shit, yeah? You understand the point? I understand. I'm not saying that you... Yeah, and if a woman says you raped her, you can't do shit. Yes, because unfortunately, the law is with their side now. But, I mean, if you can prove your innocence, then I guess that's it, yeah. Good luck. I hope you have $20,000 on the side. Well, I don't know. Women to me, they're beautiful creatures. It's just that they're brainwashed by their phones. Yeah, but you know what people do here? Basically, before people here unfortunately have sex, they ask the ladies, do you give me permission? So they record it, you know. I mean, that's a classic, though. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that's great. No, for real, because they ask. Because some of these girls, you know, they're so fucking brainwashed that you literally say their name. Like, for example, Sarah, do you give me permission to fuck with you? And then you record it at the same time. No. My lawyer advised me that if you ever have sex with a woman, you have to say, would you like to have enthusiastic, consensual sex with me? To cover your ass. That's fucked up.
No, that's pretty smart. That's pretty smart.
You don't. You're pretty much vulnerable to litigation.
I mean, you gotta have money to even be vulnerable to litigation, but the thing is, what you're doing is you're framing it for the woman to clearly identify the boundaries of what's happening here. And also, you're reinforcing it in her own consciousness if there's a future conflict where you're like, hey, do you remember when I asked you that? And you said yes, like you confirmed it. So what are you complaining about? Hello?
Yeah, but some women in court will go against you till that. They're like, don't remember, oh yeah, he did tell me this, but in court, because I've had friends go through family court and dude, wow. So,
Do you know the story?
So much perjury happens in court, it's fucked up.
Do you know Steve Wynn, the famous billionaire who opened up the Wynn Casino on Bellagio and all this shit? He went and got his like fingernails done, you know, mani-pedi at some salon or something, and he banged his nail salon technician. he thought that she wouldn't know who he was, so she ended up suing him, and she won like $3 million just for fucking him. Like, not even because there was a conflict, just because, like, when you're that rich, like, she can say whatever. So I guess he settled before it ever went to trial. He's like, but could you imagine being like, I fucking having to pay $3 million for fucking some mediocre nail technician?
And it was consensual? Yeah, mediocre, but it was consensual, right? But why?
Yeah.
What?
Look it up.
Women have so much power. I'm gonna look it up. I believe you. I believe you. I've been studying cases about where men get. Look, I'm not trying to downplay that women. You know, there is cases of rape, there is cases of assault, there is cases of abuse. I'm not trying to downplay that. But damn, when there's loopholes in the system against men and no one talks about it.
Divorce, getting married and getting divorced is the biggest trap that society sets, because you get
having kids. I lost a friend to suicide because his wife all of a sudden didn't want to live with him and the kids. Wait, he left them. You got married, right? And divorced, right?
No, I never got married.
Oh, I thought you did.
I got engaged, and she kept the ring. I spent like $17K on the ring, and she kept it. And I had insurance on it. So I called Geico and I said, hey, I got engaged. I ended the engagement. She didn't give me back the ring. Am I entitled to any damages? They said probably not. We don't know. We'll call you back. They call me back and they're like, we still don't know. It took them months. They call me finally and they're like, sir, we have a check for $23,500. Where would you like us to mail it? I was like, oh, we're going to sushi tonight, boys. Engagement ring. Yeah. Fucking, my uncle was like, now you believe in insurance, huh? I was like, fuck yeah, I believe in insurance now.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, that's so. How did they do any investigation or?
Yeah.
Did they go after her? Probably like, hey,
yeah,
we need that ring back.
Yeah, they said give us the ring or give us the fucking difference.
Oh wow. So they probably they paid you, Geico called her or sent her lawyers, and she got. Okay.
And I only spent $16,500 on the ring, but I insured it for $23,500. So they paid me the full appraisal. What I insured it for, because the appraisal sheet says it's worth this, and then they pay you what the fucking appraisal sheet says.
Wow. Is it a one-time fee for insurance, or did you pay monthly or something?
I think you pay biannually, maybe. I don't know.
So that's pretty crazy. And did that break you psychologically or?
The engagement?
Yeah,
and
breaking off
break
all
it.
that, did it go down bad?
Well,
For you?
I did a painting with this hot Hinge chick that came over to my house and rocked my world for a weekend. And we did a painting together, and on it says heartbreaker, heartbroken. So there's two modes, either you're heartbroken or you are a heartbreaker. And I'm not really a heartbreaker, I don't but it's really like what they say, in the trenches in Clown House where they say, nigga, everything's just a one night stand, bitch.
I mean, it's basically like Denzel Washington, training day, either you're a wolf or a sheep. I mean, just truth.
Yeah, basically.
But I want to fall in love.
Yeah, but so the saying is love is the law, love under will. You have to maintain the will. Otherwise, that love is like a Hiroshima, Nagasaki that will obliterate.
So when you say maintain, funded with money, got it.
In a way, yeah, but.
Yeah, also respect, brother. You need respect, bro. Basically, if you found what can I say? I mean, it depends also which country you come from. Of course, if she's from a garbage country, where it's allowed to be gay and all this fucked up shit, of course you're gonna be a bitch,
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, a feminist, a liberal feminist, progressive, pluralist, Democrat, communist, socialist, cunt. If she's hot, you can make slight exceptions. However, it's just important to remember that everything is just for a day, and when you bust a nut, some bitches you're like, I can't wait to get you the fuck out of my house. Other girls, you're like, oh, I would love for you to stay. I would love to spoon you.
Yeah, especially
Spoon
if
you
they
all
have
night.
nice titties. If they have really nice titties, I would love for them to stay. I mean, brother, look, basically, guys, I don't know where you're from or what your belief is, but I mean, if you really want a good girl, a good chick, don't marry a Muslim. United States, the Arab Americans, the Middle Eastern Americans, they're just as
Well, look, if they have a phone, you lost.
I blame their fathers that spoil this shit.
Yeah, no fathers. You blame some of them. You can't blame the fathers though that have to work. There's some fathers that they're not around, bro. They have to fucking
I mean, no, it's not that. Spoil the shit out of the guy.
provide a family out of it.
But I'm just saying, like, imagine, okay, not that if she's an Arab or a Durka, like a Indian or a Punjabi or whatever. I mean, if basically, let's say she's just practicing the religion, yeah? Even if she's a black Muslim, orange Muslim, like a Donald Trump Muslim, or like a fucking red Muslim, you know, Chinese Muslim, doesn't matter, but basically...
Dude, it doesn't... Mr. Vegas, I'm sorry, but it's a pony show. I went out with I was gonna go out with a Muslim chick the other night. Very pretty girl, but she's 37. So that's 17 years older than a 20-year-old. So bitch, you best come out the gate respectful as fuck. And she came out the gate saying, "Why should I go out with you if we live in Trump America? If we live in a Trump America where I'm not welcomed?" And I was like, "Bitch, red flag number one. Red flag number one." So I made the reservation, and then 2 hours before the reservation, I cancel on her. I say, "Hey, I'm actually not feeling well. I need to cancel and reschedule with you." She texts me when the reservation starts, and she says, "Please Zelly me $65 for my Uber, and I knew you were gonna do this. I knew you were no good. Blah blah blah." And then I just blocked that bitch. But what I'm saying is, like, dude, I gave that bitch 2 hours heads up, but her ass doesn't want to look at the fucking phone, or she's texting me on Hinge when she already has my fucking number. So, you know.
I mean, the way they describe, bro, this is basically like a...
I'm respecting you, brother. Good job. Hey, some men don't care. They just get stepped on.
If she was,
Sure, I'll send you the money.
if she was 27, I would have showed up to that date. But when you're 37,
She's 25, 27, 23. Hell yeah, dude, I'll be like, baby girl, here's 60.
that's what I'm saying. She's like, do you just want to date me because I'm exotic? I'm like, because you wear a hijab? Because you put on the show that you are this devout Muslim? See, I know religion, spirituality, and mysticism. And when somebody is putting on a fucking hijab, they're trying to say I'm like a spiritual person. I'm a mystical person. But you know what? They're also political. You're not just spiritual. You're fucking you are polarized politically, and you really don't give a fuck about your spirituality because you're so fucking political.
And the amen.
Dude, it's a show, man. It's not the fucking book club. When a bitch pulls out a bibliography of the top 10 books and she wants to talk about her fucking book club, then we can start examining her religious, spiritual, psychological beliefs. But otherwise, it's all just fucking makeup on a pig, dude. Do not believe the outward-facing appearance of a woman. If she doesn't have a fucking book club, she's just another fucking side down there. Big time faggot. Anyways, the police gave me a ticket for being Jewish. Hello?
Basically, those women
But the truth is, if you want mature love, you have to become a refined person yourself. You have to become a gentleman, and let your experience flow from that source as you being the center of the wheel. Many women will knock you out of the center of the circle, and that's all I'm trying to say is be aware of how they jujitsu your ass out of your center circle position. Like today, I got sugar baby, but to a limited extent, I have, I should have just given her cash and be like, here's your budget for the day, take care of it. But instead, I just kept letting her hit that credit card for no fucking. I should have just given her the cash like I thought I was gonna get. He said, that's all you're gonna get, bitch. No, I mean, I think you want like the harem where you're just like you're there because like that's your kingdom, and you just happen to have all these beautiful women hanging around, and you don't really pay them much attention. Occasionally, like 1 out of 10, you're like, okay, I'm gonna fawn over this one amazing specimen. But what I'm saying is like in the harem, if you've got it going on, you're the king, you're royalty, you just enjoy the environment, the scene, and when you find your dancing partner, it just happens naturally, like flowers. I think we're all going to bed here, Mr. Vegas.
This ain't what's going on. That's not what's going on right now. I promise you that. I don't even, bro. The easiest way to stay out the hospital is to eat right and don't go to the fucking hospital.
Okay, well, say that to black mothers. Say that to black mothers, where the black maternal mortality rate is almost 50 deaths per 100,000 live births, where white, Hispanic, and Asian is 14, 12, 11, 44, 50 deaths per 100,000 versus for up to.
What's the read? You just reading off a bunch of numbers, but we need to dive into the numbers. Hold on, brother. I'm not she adding bias to the numbers. So what I'm doing is I'm saying, bro, can I finish? Because you out of all people, like, bro, come on, man. Like, I ain't even go back to it. So when you rattle off these numbers, the question then becomes what methodology did these people use to come out to their conclusions? Because you don't know what it is. So when you just rattle off numbers and say, well, this per 1,000, per 1,000, okay, well let's dig into the sample set and let's see what it is before we make any conclusions, or to confirm if we would come to the same conclusion they came to. Numbers don't mean shit. Yeah, they can lie.
But you know that there's probably, did you also know, Bima, that black women picking and choosing better than white women?
No, I'm not picking and choosing.
Did you know that, Bima?
I do every study like that, bro. Like,
he picking and choosing, but he just talked about how he pick and choose with the numbers and feelings in this, and he's literally doing it right now. I don't understand. How you
bro, did you, okay, what did you gather from the numbers that she read?
The numbers that she read clearly states that there is a bias. And that's that. If she did a study on it, if they did a study, We understand that
This shit is fucking crazy.
Okay. Black women on average weigh 20 pounds more than white women. So they're more likely to have complications during childbirth that lead to death. That's just a fact.
Yeah, you're gonna have to first prove that women of that same weight in other races have the same complications.
Do you see what
If
she's
that's
doing right
equivalent,
now? Do you see what she's doing?
if that's equivalent, then
She has to say it one more time. I didn't hear what she said. Say it one more time.
She said now he has to prove. You see, the only thing that I was saying is we need to do the same thing by investigating the report. Let's go into the proof to confirm if we come to the same conclusion. You told me I was picking and choosing. When Beaver gave a reason or a possible reason as to why that paper could come to that outcome, she said you got to prove it. But when I said to prove it, it's a problem. I'm picking and choosing.
She said, but you said that we are somebody was doing it. But the reason why she got to that point where she's at now is because you guys are trying to make her say or go to the point and it's basically remember she's statistics and you guys trying to question her. So now she's trying to be more logical about it. To now come up with a solution or her own way to it now. But originally that's not what she was doing.
So, brother, let me ask you this: in your personal studies, when you read research studies, do you actually dive into the numbers? And you just Okay. Well, literally, you just told me that I was picking and choosing because the only thing I said was we need to dive into the numbers to figure out why they are the way they are.
No, because before that, you said that. You literally said before that we are victims. I'm going against that shit. I don't go against that shit. I ain't doing that shit. But then another thing you said was that we pick and choose our information. And all she did was read a statistic based on the claims that she made before to emphasize on the previous points. And then when you guys
She never made the claim before. This was the first one she pulled up about the medical bill.
Conversation. She was talking about even then she's talking about when she goes to the hospital. She asks us about what's going on and is everything
Right, but that's her saying what she would do if she went into a hospital. This was the first time she brought up a study. So when I'm saying we need to dive into the study to figure out why they are the way they are.
yeah, I don't disagree with you, sir.
She jumped in and said, and when she jumped in, respectfully, just like she just did, and then you came off the mic, and that's when I said, man, we some fucking victims. Because everything is always about, bro, this shit is like Jasmine Crockett all over again. Everything is about racism. There's no ownership on people to do what they need to do to secure themselves. Everything is about racism. So what does that mean? That means you literally have no control over your life and the outcomes that you have. It's always somebody else's fault.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. One second. So that's not what I'm saying. So what I'm saying, like what you just said, I totally agree with you, right? But there's a baseline. You're saying that basically, in this particular case, the study that I had listed, this was, I explained that this was all through, it was the study of the documents. So this wasn't an active, it was a retrospective study. So they looked at the documents that had already been documented from the hospitals. They looked at 250,000 emergency room visits, okay? And it wasn't, basically my point is it's not like, it wasn't randomized, right? It wasn't like some experiment. This was looking at the information of what is provided, right? And you could say, the things that we can't say 100% is, this is racism, right? Because I wouldn't be able to prove that. You can't, a person who's 100% absolute racist, but doesn't come out and say, I'm racist, it's impossible to prove, right? There's some other argumentation that you could always make, right? So we can say, if you don't want to say that it's racist, you absolutely can't say that it's not racially prejudiced, and there's obviously a pattern here, that is not just slightly significant, highly significant. So if you want to look into why, right, that basically what they did is they looked at the patients came in, what was their first initial complaint? That this was documented. They read the complaint, right? They read whatever the complaint was. Then they looked at what their scores, what the nurses gave them for their scores. And then they looked at what they eventually were diagnosed with, or whether they had more intensive subsequent workups after that. And what they saw was that for the same exact outcome, subsequent workouts, or the workups afterwards, everything that led to, right, whether it was a heart attack, whether it was a blood clot, whatever it is, that the Black Americans, that they received less intense scores because they weren't trusted. There was, and how, that's not me, that's not my opinion, that's just what the study says, right? They weren't trusting the credibility of Black Americans at this high. So you want to make up your reason, people want to make up your reason, sure, let insurance, Beaver said, whatever, go ahead and make your explanation. But guess what? It's not going to change the fact that it's still happening, right? We have to figure out how to stop it. And your ultimate, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, which was frustrating, because you're like, we are responsible for, yeah, of course we're responsible. But in this particular case, you're saying that Black Americans have to be more responsible and more vigilant than white, Hispanic, and Asians in America. They have to be, right, but I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying, I'm pointing out, I'm saying, that's not a society I want to live in. I want to live in a society where everybody's comfortable. That's my point.
But it doesn't mean
okay, now, I'm glad you said you was frustrated. Now, you just said that you want to live in a society where everybody's comfortable. Now, would I be biased or racially profiling you when I hear you say something like that, and then you read a study, and the outcome that the study says, and you automatically jump on that size of what you're saying? Am I racially profiling you or being biased towards you because you revealed your bias in this sense?
I'm not understanding the question.
All right, don't worry about it. Let's go to something different. Now,
it makes sense to concern. So.
It's okay. The results of that test said that they were less trusting, right?
That the nurses that gave them their initial, yes, that they believed that they had less, that Black Americans had less credibility in explaining their symptoms, like their pain threshold, how or what they were experiencing.
Can you put the study in the chat so everybody can read it?
So she's talking about when you say we give you a scale of 1 to 10, and they say like 7, you're like, nah, I don't think you're telling the truth. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically, they're saying someone comes in and says, I'm getting this really bad pain and it's sharp and it hurts. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling? An 8, right? It's an 8. Then they'll put on their side the severity index of what they feel after assessing the urgency that you need to be treated, and how much they're trusting what you're saying, because they're either going to put you ahead of somebody, they're going to put you in a it's called the severity something index, right? This is the back.
In the article, did they confirm how they verified that?
How they verified what specifically, sorry?
So they have a checklist. They have a checklist.
What if
they confirm?
Well, I'm just gonna say, what if the triage nurses, they've worked for 20 years, they know. Like someone in the chat made a very point, is this their 4th visit to the ER this month, saying they have an 8 on the pain scale? Are they a junkie trying to get a quick hit? Like that. What if they notice trends and they happen to notice that there's a lot more Hispanics that come in and do that than white people? Like there could be other factors. You can't always just default to the triage nurses are racist. They don't like Black people, and
Yeah, but the
But
problem though with this
somebody's
study though,
telling you.
Beaver, one second, the problem with the study though is that the cases where the nurses gave them low priority and didn't trust them, they ended up having the severe and the same symptoms as somebody who was white, Asian, or Hispanic.
So let me tell you.
Don't call 911.
That can still be explained by that though. No.
Wait, hold on.
My grandmother. Yeah, that doesn't counter my point.
Wait, hold on. This is the question. This is the question I wanted. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Nah, brother. This is the question I wanted to ask. In the article, how did they confirm what the example that you guys just gave? How did the article articulate how they confirmed that?
The severity of
If somebody said that my pain was an 8, but the doctor wrote down 7 or 6 or whatever, no, it's not about hate. I'm just doing what you said you did. I'm investigating the
It
numbers.
was discretionary sort. That's
That's
the point of the study. That was. Do you hear me, sir?
They're wrong.
No, I'm not saying that they're wrong, you stupid nigga. What I'm asking is how did they confirm it?
This is a free checklist. There's a free. My mother.
Bro, I'm talking about the article. Oh my god, bro.
Like if Ford walked in
Nigga, you ain't listening. I'm asking about the people who wrote the article. How did they confirm this? It's not about the people that's in the hospital. Let's say if the event took place. Okay, cool. Oh my god, bro.
Ford walks into Bima's room. Bima says 8. Ford goes back and writes down 5. How did they confirm it? Ford wrote down 5.
Because they have a computer system where they have to do the pre-checks.
So
how did?
So the nurse writes that.
Yes.
8. So the nurse writes basically says 8, but it's really only a 5.
Yes, and the initial checkup. That's when you're talking to you and that's what they're doing.
No, it's not. They're not.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Because now, see, you're not even listening to your own fucking argument. Because if you check the computer system, there's only one number in there. That's the 5. So did they go back to the nurse or did they go back to the patient and ask?
No, you're missing.
That's
What they're saying, it's a different number sort. If they say that they experienced this pain, right, and it's an 8 or something, they put them on a severity index scale. It's something different than the number that they've provided the nurse.
I understand that,
right?
Bino.
So
what I'm asking is how did the people that did the research, that put the 250,000 number together, they're saying that when the people went into the hospital, they gave the nurse one number. Let's say if that number is 10. However, the number that was documented by these nurses was a 5. Okay.
It's in the file. And it's public. You have to do orders.
But how many numbers is in the file?
How many numbers is in the file?
So you're saying if it came in and they said 10, did the nurse write in the file the patient said 10, but I'm going to change it to an 8. There's 2 numbers.
Right.
I don't know.
No, so if someone came in and said, I'm experiencing a level 8 pain, right? Then the nurse, the triage nurse, assigns each patient a level or a treatment area. Whether they're a level 1, a level 3, a level 6, a level whatever. And what I'm saying is that they would look, they wouldn't trust, they wouldn't believe them. So they put them in lower acute severity symptoms, lower acute levels or treatment areas when they're at the end, the conclusion ended that they should have been appropriately placed in a different.
So they had to be re-triaged. How many times black people had to be re-triaged versus white people?
A different urgency level.
So for context here,
or treatment area.
5-level triage tool hospital emergency departments to categorize patients acuity and resource needs, ranging from level 1 to be most urgent Level 5 would be this is only when it's triage. Child care. Triage. Level 1, they need help immediately. 5 would be, don't worry about that, they're okay. Dima, I guess what you're saying is that if someone says, well, triage, they get passed out, but they're like, I'm a level 1, I'm hurting real bad. You're saying the nurse is going back because they're black. They're like, don't worry about that. We're gonna fly.
Well, something like that, something like that. So, for example, how they compare in this particular study. So, what they did is they looked at black ER patients, white ER patients. Then they said black ER patients that came in that said they experienced chest pains like this, and white emergency patients that came in that experienced chest pains like this. Black patients that came in with abdominal patients that explained this, and white, and they looked at it, and the black patients received less urgent average ESI scores.
It still doesn't answer my question. You're saying that they said, okay, did the nurse document what they said? According to y'all saying that they didn't. They only wrote down one number, which was the observation that the nurse felt like the black person was experiencing. So if they only documented one number, which was the observation of the nurse, how do we know that there is a disparity between what they documented versus what the person said?
Because they have to do audits. They have to write it down as audits. That's why you see the pre-nurse and you see the actual nurse. Each person in that situation has a different job. More likely, the first person who sees the person that you even look at, actually what's the question, you just give them whatever answer you give them, is the person that does that. And they
First person that don't be triage.
Okay, so the first person, what they do is
This shit every single fucking day.
Actually, first, and then they'll get to, what's going on? And then you give them a number. Then they relay information onto the ring, or the nurse, not the system nurse. Then the nurse comes on there, and she talks to the nurse, and she goes further. And that's where things are getting done. It's from that, that's what the system, to now the nurse.
So the nurse, now we have two things, because what I'm trying to understand is the people who conducted the research. Is this the same methodology that they use? So there's two numbers that's documented. The first nurse documents a number. The second nurse documents a number. And those two numbers are different, and that's how they came up with the disparity?
Yes.
And you're sure that that's what they use?
From what she's saying, the fact that she's reading on, whatever she's reading on, that's how it goes. And that's how it usually goes. Now that's how it goes in general in all hospitals. I mean, I guess I don't know. Like, that's a basic standard. That's what they do.
Let's let KP describe the process. How do you do it, KP?
Once you walk in, as soon as you come through the ER, ED, whichever you want to call it, depends on your state. Most of us, we call it ED. Walk in, say you have abdominal pain. Come in, you sit down in a chair. What's your name? And boom. Nobody lies about that shit. Because guess what? If you get caught on a lie, that's your license. You're cooked. So that's bullshit. What this lady is saying. That's bullshit.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that they didn't write down. I'm saying they assigned them an ESI number. Do you know what that is? Can you explain to the room what an ESI number is?
You tell me what an ESI is. So we don't talk in no ESI. What's your pain level? I've been doing this shit for 20 years, okay?
For the room, an ESI is an emergency severity index, ranked from 1 to 5. Severity and triage emergency.
KP, do people generally over-exaggerate the
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially if
Because you have drug seekers.
Let me just clear up this argument and completely. The pain level from 0 to 10 is generally considered unreliable. When comparing one person's pain to another person's pain, it's considered unreliable. So what AP just said, people come in, they might say, oh my God, my pain is a 10. 10, so you know, because I've had hospital people tell me this. If you're just sitting there, someone puts their foot on your armpit and tears off your arm, that's a 10. So I guarantee most of the time what you're feeling is probably 4 or 5, maybe a 6 if you're lucky, in terms of what the medical community actually thinks your pain is.
Teenage, you about to go into
that's,
But for context here, guys,
this whole study is completely subjective. And let's just remember, the goal of CRTs, whenever there's a disparity, you assume it's because of race, and then you find the reasons to confirm them. It has nothing to do with reality.
Just for context.
Okay, so the white supremacist spoke, but the white supremacist was not aware that this was a retro. Hold on, white supremacist.
All right, wait, hold on. Don't call out the white supremacists. That's very rude.
He is. I'm sorry. I believe that. So this is the thing. This is the thing, white supremacist, sir. White supremacist.
Beamer, seriously, don't do that.
Yeah, Beamer, don't start.
I think it's more offensive. How are you more offended of calling Alan a white supremacist by him diminishing a study that, like, it's a retrospective study that is letting us know how Black Americans are people. Like, this is
By
crazy.
the way, Beamer, just so
You can call me if you want. That's true.
Yeah, by the way,
Hold on, Beamer, can you put the study in the chat? Hold on for a second, Alan, please. Beamer, if there's a phone number, I'm gonna call those people tomorrow. I'm gonna talk to them. So can you put the study in the chat?
For context in the room, Beamer's not talking about if the nurse goes to a patient.
Serious story.
Hold on, Black lady. Alan, they're not talking about like the nurse goes to a patient and asks them what the paper is. She's talking about triage, like you go to the ER. There's only 1 through 5. The person doesn't tell you. The nurse triage, the nurse decides for themselves. Level 1 is like cardiac arrest or like major trauma, like you've been shot, shit like that. Level 2 is like you're having a stroke, or you're like having a respiratory disaster, a heart attack, shit like that. Level 3 would be like you're in a little bit of pain, but you're stable. It's not too urgent. And level 4 and 5 is like, yeah, you just sit down immediately. So what Beamer's saying is that the nurses are determining for themselves. It's not like they're asking the patient's saying I'm in pain, the nurses change the thing. I think Beamer's saying the nurses are racially discriminating, saying, well, if you're black, it's probably not as bad. If you're white, it wouldn't be that bad, but correct.
And then for the guy that said,
it's bullshit, by the way.
If you call it a 10, and if you call it a 10, that means somebody stepping on your shoulder and putting it out inside you. Go in there and tell them, how was it called? You tell them it's a 10, they're not automatically assuming in that world that, you've done fucking did some, whatever the case may be. I'm saying that place. So there's context into, it's not just a random number, and they give it, and then also, again, what Mike just said is exactly true. It's exactly right. Is that what she's saying is that the severity level of what the actual was ran, but the number that was ran down to severity level was actually low.
Yeah,
but if Mike is right, then he did. No, go ahead, Mike.
This happens in real life.
But let me just give a quick example. I took my brother to the ER. I've taken him a few times for kidney stones. He knows to tell them he's having chest pains. If you tell the triage nurse you're having chest pains, they will take you back faster, and he will get the pain medication faster and end his suffering. But if you don't tell him that, You will sit in the ER and suffer until they can see you, because kidney stones cannot kill you, but chest pains can, so they get priority. So if you lie, which you did, and you know, tell me you have chest pains, they will see you right away, then they will give you the pain, and then it will pass. So that's how that's one way it can apply. So maybe they would believe a white person over a black person. I don't know. But go ahead.
Beaver, this happened to me. This happened to me. I went to the ER one time. I felt like I was moving some shit. My shit got real fucked up, right? I feel like I put muscle, but I was like having a hard time breathing. I was like, whoa. Like, my wife's like, just fucking go. I didn't want to go, but she was like, just fucking go. So I went, right? And I was late at night. I was there, checked me in, took all my stuff, sit down, and this guy was all fucking weirdo, bro. Sporadic, talking about can't breathe, there was a dude nurse who stood at the desk, he's like, all right, sit down. But even taking the bag, she said, all right, sit down. And he's like, he gets back up, I gotta do it. The guy takes the bag, reaches files, all right, sit down. And the guy's causing all this commotion, right? So I get up, and I kind of go to the guy's desk, and I'm like, if you want to take him back before me, like, I'm okay, like, I'm not in a lot of pain. And the nurse looks at me, he goes, hey man, Charles is a motherfucker. You're going next. The dude that came in there all freaking out, it's because he didn't have any drugs. He wasn't just giving him some pain meds. So he's just looking to go to the ER, have him taken to the back, give him some fucking pain meds, so he can lay there and go to sleep for the next about 5 hours.
That happens.
And the nurse knew that, so the nurse took him first.
Yes, we know these motherfuckers.
That's not the majority. It's not the majority. Every nurse out there, I hear about this person all the time. My grandmother and my mother, they know the first name, base, and facial. No matter, you can tell even if you're not what's going on. But in the context, yes, but that's not. It's that's a very small number. That's not even really impacting the whole.
Yeah, but if a black guy came in with a gunshot wound, they would have taken the black guy before me.
Of course.
Right.
That's outside of that's a number on the upper side. That's not in the percentage because meaning that it's on the upper side of the percentage. That's just not in the percentage of that's the biggest one. It's not the biggest one.
Well, that was an unfair comparison. You're right. That was an unfair comparison.
But see,
we gonna take a GSW over a fucking broke ankle.
But we getting far.
GSW.
We getting far away from the origin of what the article was purporting. So, if we're saying that, well, let me back up. Alan, my bad. I apologize. Did you want? I won't let you go first, and then I'll go.
You're right, Thor. They're saying they're fudging the numbers. Good, Alan.
Yeah, Alan.
Yeah, yes. Alan.
It's just quiet. Now black people, they're in trouble. Now black people can't go to the hospital. They're
Well, every fucking man.
Riley, I'm gonna.
Even lights going to down. It's so cool.
Riley.
Now, I tell you what's really fucked up is reading through this study. I work in an inner city hospital. Okay? It's bullshit, this study. It's bullshit. Bullshit. Maybe some small rural racist ass hospital in the middle of bumfuck
It wasn't one hospital, okay? It was multiple
Stated that black women do not have pain. Isn't that correct?
See, hold on. We have to confirm. So now we're talking about methodology, which is kind of what I was getting at the whole time. If somebody, if you're leaving it up to the nurse to make a, if you're leaving it up to the nurse to make a judgment call, and that's the only number that the interaction is going off of, how do we attribute that to racism?
What they did was they used, so yeah, and it, like I said, if you don't want to call it racism, no matter what we call it, you can't, there's definitely a racial disparity here. Like this is purely racial, the evidence, right? This is a retrospective study that's done. So you could call it what you want, but what they did was they took all of the white patients and they used that as the guide, right? And then they took black, Hispanic, Asian, and they compared them. Came in, they gave, there was a categories, right, that they gave, 5 categories, like heart, chest pain, shortness of breath, I forget the other one, vomiting, abdominal pain, nausea, stuff like that, okay?
And how many people
then-
did they look
and-
at?
Hold on, 250,000.
Okay, that is wrong. I
Okay,
just
so-
looked it up.
So you could,
It
you
was
could,
222 medical students. It was mock scenarios. It
okay, yeah,
wasn't
that's a different
real-life
study. That's a different
scenarios.
study. No, this is
No,
real. This is a
it's
retrospect.
landmark
Alan,
study.
Alan, I'm talking about a
landmark
different study. Alan, we're talking about different studies, honey.
Yeah,
Listen to what I'm saying.
Talking about?
I'm talking about the study that's called, let's see what it says. From the Western Journal of Emergency Medicine, racial differences in triage for emergency department patients.
And where was it done?
This was done over
And I can guarantee you, ma'am,
multiple hospitals and
man, if you would like, I will fly you
No, I'm looking at the
right to my office.
2016
You can sit
University
there.
of Virginia study.
Well, I don't like that title
no,
though.
that's not
I don't
what-
like
that's
that
not-
title, but there
that's
is
not
a
what I'm looking at.
disparity. There is a disparity though. But that title means it uses that word racial, but it's just saying white versus black. Situations essentially. But I don't like that word because she said racist. That's not what they're trying to say. But I understand what she was trying to say, like bias and the differences when it comes to the numbers that they were trying to. I don't like how they.
But it
use that.
it says racial though, right?
Ma'am, I will fly you to my office. You can see the shit, and you will understand it's no racial bias.
Hold up. When the context is for the title, because it's just a title, right? It's meant to for you to see it. The context is what happens in the what happens in the white and the African American, how the difference differs. That's the context of the title.
Have you read the
It's
article?
not talking about. She said it. She said it.
Have you read it article?
No, I have not read that.
Okay, so you're
But I
speaking.
have family in the
Oh my
facilities.
God, bro!
2 generations and more.
You literally making this shit up.
Bro, you don't know nothing. You just assuming shit.
I
You
don't
never said
know.
that
That's
one
the
time
reason why
to
I'm
sit with any
asking.
brother.
That's the reason why I'm asking. I'm asking because I don't know.
Preferential treatment based on urgency.
You ask questions when you don't know. You don't sit back and eat popcorn because that's how you end up in the hospital.
Preferential treatment based on urgency.
There you
ever
go.
been in there?
There you go.
I'm asking because the question is this is the reason y'all keep getting hung up on this, and I'm trying to figure out like understanding this. Y'all said in the beginning that the nurse would hear a different number and then write down a different number.
For 2 different things, Sword. They're 2 different, and it's not. But you understand that, right? No, because you're repeating that. Here, do you want? Can I give you the breakdown again? Because they're not writing down a different number of pain.
I would like to
someone's
read
saying.
the article myself
Yeah.
because for some reason I'm finding it very.
Well, I keep explaining this to you, and I don't know. I don't know why I keep going back to them rewriting a different number. That's not what that's not what happened.
This is how y'all frame.
What I'm trying to tell you,
this is how y'all
you
frame.
sit there and lie in charting.
People walked in.
Oh my God!
If you lie in charting,
crazy.
that is your ass.
There is no
You're
lies. Hold on. Do you guys understand no lies?
Y'all
This has
literally
nothing,
just
0
changed
lies.
the whole.
This is
Bima, you
no
said the
lies.
patient
This
would
has
say
to
one thing
do
and the
with the
nurse would say
credibility. This has to do with the belief of the credibility of the
my
patients. That's what
God.
this entire study is on.
Okay, you come
is
in there.
based on. So when
Yeah,
somebody comes in and they say that they are experiencing something then the nurse assigns the ESI, and even with the same exact symptoms of white patients that they gave, okay, for their initial assessment, they got an ESI of low acuity it was like it was called like fast track low, there was middle, and then there was high acuity area, right?
And you know
And
why?
then-
You know
and
why?
then-
Because we
hold on,
just
wait,
spoke about
but
a lot of.
the issue was that the problem was that the conclusion was that they ended up the Black Americans, while they were significantly placed in the low acuity, they ended up having the same issues that should have placed them properly in a higher acuity level initially.
What's the name of
They
that
should have been,
About all
and this
the drug
is so
seekers, just the white
Post
drug
the
seekers.
study.
on the
You gotta take that into
of the
accountability.
nurse doing
Post
the
the study.
ESI.
This is what
Okay.
happens when you're trying to find racism where there's no racism.
Bro, because in the
What are you
beginning, she
talking
was
about? Everybody's
because
You
ignoring
have to
what's
take an
happening here.
accountability of the
Bima.
white drug seekers and the black drug seekers that study. When you come in here,
And I said
I
that.
know you by your fucking first name because guess what? You want that 5-hour high.
Bima, when you were talking in the beginning, I don't know if you recall this or recognize what you were saying, but you literally were using the term trust. You said
Yes,
that
correct.
the nurses, okay, correct. So now, when you use terminology like that, now I have to look at the person who's conducting the audit to confirm. How did you come to the conclusion? The audit person wasn't there. So how did you come to the conclusion that there was a trust issue when you were not there?
Right, so I
How
can
are you
explain.
quantifying this?
I'll explain.
So
I'll try to explain one more time, okay? So this was a retrospective. So what they did was
What
they
was the
pulled,
name of the study?
they
please?
pulled, Alan, please, I already read it. I'll just be patient.
Put it in the
So
chat.
they pulled the 250,000 files from 250,000 patients across 7 hospitals. Okay, so when first they have to have it needed to be an ER visit, right? So specifically there were ER visits. Then they look at the recorded race, the age, the gender, the arrival, the complaint, and the disposition. Then, okay, and that is what the patient told the nurse. Then the nurse records the ESI, and the nurse puts that patient in an ESI of either initial low, middle, high placement. And then they recorded whether those patients later ended up requiring high acuity care. So then they grouped them and they put them study to study, Black, Asian, Hispanic, white. When they came in and they had this complaint with this disposition, they put white people, Hispanics and Asians, in high acuity placement when they put in ESI, while the nurse put Black patients in initial low acuity. However, those Black, and the only ones that mattered were the studies that when the patient left, they ended up also requiring the high acuity care. Okay.
Now, thank you. So now this still leads to more questions. Okay. Well, no, because it's funny that when y'all actually took the time to listen, you can actually answer the question. We could have got here a long time ago. Now, my next question is for the white people in that test. Did they have to receive higher care than what they were originally categorized as? Was there any change in their classification?
They were used as the baseline. White patients were used as the baseline.
So you don't know.
No, I'm saying that white patients were used as a baseline. So Hispanic, Asian, and Black Americans were based off of what they received for the results of what white Americans used.
Yeah, that doesn't answer his question though.
It exactly answers his question.
No,
Good night, retards. Good night, retards. Love you, retards. Take care, retards.